right, turning to your profit results, revenue down, but profit up due to selling higher margin products. Just explain why your customers are willing to pay more and what they're actually getting for that extra money.
So if you look at the resource sector, but also the civil infrastructure sector where we are active, they've got three challenges today. One is productivity, right? So the mining industry is now busy with M&A. They're not really investing in new greenfield, brownfield sites, which means that for whatever resources they have in the ground, they need more productivity. They need more output. And Orica is leading here in terms of solutions that we provide to improve productivity. The second is inflation. Everybody's suffering from inflation. So our customers are also suffering from higher costs of inputs. So they're asking us to do things more efficiently, better, at lower cost and more productivity. We've got solutions to do that. The third is ESG. All our customers, including us here in Orica, have the same pressures that everybody else has globally in terms of becoming more sensible with the environment, decarbonizing our operations. We've got several of these very, very advanced digital solutions that help to optimize end-to-end value chains and operations on the mine side that helps them with their emissions profile. So these three mega trends, and they're not going to go away. So inflation is here to stay, the ESG pressures will continue, and productivity is a challenge all across the globe. We've got the best solutions in industry, and that's why we see that earnings profile improve at Orica.
Yeah, you mentioned inflation and price pressures in input costs. Are they slowly trending downwards, though, when compared to a couple of years ago?
They've started to normalize in certain parts of the world. They are not going up further, which is good news. The question is how soon will they come down and how soon will they correct, and when will we see interest rates normalizing? People are talking about higher for longer, which is a bit concerning, obviously, because that means there's no immediate end to this challenge in sight.
Now, one of your strategies is to go beyond blasting. Blasting was obviously your core business a few years ago, but what are the non-blasting services that you're really focusing on now as well?
So there's a simple reason for the strategy of growing in blasting, but beyond blasting. In blasting, we are today the #1 company in the world. So when you already have the #1 market position, what do you do after that? So the question for us was, how do we grow the organization for the next 150 years? And we thought, since we've got access to the mining industry, can we bring in new products and solutions to the same customer base, but do this upstream of blasting and downstream of blasting? So we've got two different businesses today on top of the blasting business, which is already a world-leading franchise. One is the digital technologies business. So we integrate digital technology, which means software, sensors, and services into our core blasting business, but we do this upstream of blasting, during blasting, and downstream of blasting. That data and the closed loop helps us to optimize the blasting process. So that's one selling point. The other is specialty mining chemicals. As you go into future-facing commodities, you need less blasting, but you need more chemical processing, like lithium, for example. So now we're building a global franchise where we offer the same customers a different solution in different parts of the value chain. And today we are the #1 provider of extraction chemistry to the gold industry, which is a very exciting commodity, obviously. So that's basically the logic behind this new growth initiative of growing beyond blasting.
You mentioned technology. Lots of companies are investing a lot in artificial intelligence. How are you using it at Orica?
Oh, very intensively. So there's two use cases that we have for artificial intelligence. One is obviously productivity within the organization. So I have a AI tool on my phone. They can send me reminders, write emails, make phone calls for me, take notes for me without me getting involved. So that just helps with the productivity, making minutes. That's basic stuff. What we are doing now is Orica has data from 150 years. We are now using the AI large language models to scavenge. So we are literally now mining data as we mine resources, and we are getting value out of that data. We are converting this into solutions for our customers, and then we are transferring those solutions and products to our customers. So we are basically leveraging our knowledge and experience, which is vast, over 150 years, using AI, condensing it down, and then making new products and solutions that we are taking to market. And we are doing this every day. So it's a really exciting field for Orica.
During the year, Origin Energy pulled out of its partnership with you at the Hunter Valley Hydrogen Project, basically saying it's not economic to do at this stage. What's next for Orica and that project at Kooragang Island?
So Orica's role in that project has not changed. And in my view, in Australia, that's the most viable project we have today for two reasons. One, it's located on a port, which means you can bring in product, you can take product out with the least cost possible. Secondly, I am a major consumer of hydrogen. I use natural gas to produce hydrogen, which then going into my chemistries. I could replace that hydrogen with green or blue hydrogen if I have that available to me, which means Any manufacturer of hydrogen on site does not need to look for a customer. I'll offtake everything that they can produce, provided the cost is right and the price is right. So what I have said is I'm open for business. I'm looking for new partners, and after having said that publicly, we've got a long list of people both in country but from overseas wanting to come and collaborate with Orica. At the moment, the team is working through each of these options, and my expectation is either in the next 12 months until maybe end of December next year, we have a deal, we have a partner, and then we go ahead with the project, or we shelf it because we've got other things to do.
So you're not worried about where hydrogen's currently sitting in Australia's energy mix at this stage with policy settings that we've got in Australia?
Look, hydrogen without policy support, without subsidy is not doable. So I'm talking about the Head Start funding. So with the Head Start funding, with renewable energy getting cheaper over a period of time, we can make this work. It will not happen overnight. A transition takes 5, 10, 15, 20 years, but it is doable. Without funding, there is no project.
And how confident are you about the next 12 months and the trading outlook?
I would say I'm relatively confident. The commodity market outlook is quite good. We should see upside coming out of the United States, but there's also risks, as we've talked about tariffs and other challenges. But overall, I feel relatively confident now. There are some spots of weakness. We've seen very weak coal business in the United States, obviously because gas is better and cheaper. So people are shifting from coal to gas for power generation. So the coal business is declining in the United States. We've obviously seen in Australia here nickel being very weak, and now lithium starting to see some weaknesses. But these are the smaller commodities. Our biggest commodities are copper, gold, iron ore, met coal, and they are going strong, and expect they'll continue to go strongly for the next 12 months.
Sanjeev Gandhi, Chief Executive at Orica, thanks for your time.
Thanks, Eddie. Thanks for having me.